Joining me now to discuss this, Head of Advocacy at the Women's Forum Australia, Stephanie Bastiaan. Stephanie, thanks for your time. Look, I think we'll probably all agree, Charlotte, Mortlock, yourself and I, that we need more strong women in the Liberal Party's ranks. But for a lot of Liberal women, talk of quotas is an anathema. People like Charlotte say it's the answer to the party's problems. Well, give me your take on this debate.
Well, good evening, Peter. I'm yet to hear a plausible argument about how quotas will flip a single vote. If we want to fix the Liberal Party's perceived women problem, we need to address the way that outspoken women are treated in the party. And I'll note that even organisations like the Helmers Network and Ms Nortlock have been very quiet about the way that Moira Deeming was treated by her male colleagues, the way that Kath Deves was briefed against, about the way that Di Lee was treated when she was suspended for 10 years from the New South Wales division. If we want to get serious about winning over female voters, we need to improve our policy base. Women are often the economic managers of their homes. They've got budgets to balance. This identity politics is not going to turn a single vote. And as we saw in Goldstein, Zoe Daniels was the ideal progressive candidate and she was beaten by Tim Wilson, who's a man. So I think the answer to this is actually improving our policy base.
Look, I have to agree with that because I made the point at the top of the show, the same as you did, that we only won the Liberal Party one seat, one only, God help us, at the last election. And that was the Melbourne seat of Goldstein, won by a man, Tim Wilson, from a woman, Zoe Daniels. So it says that just putting a female candidate in there is not a silver bullet. And also, conversely, that a bloke as your candidate is not the handicap that some in the party might like to claim it is.
No, it's absolutely not. And I think there's a range of policies that we could look at that would entice female voters, particularly that younger demographic that we so often miss. I mean, childcare, for example, is very rigid. It's a childcare centre based only. There are only 3,200 spots for in-home childcare, which for a lot of women who are nurses or who are working shift work, that's very limiting. Or for women who are wanting to stay home to raise families, income splitting would also be a very attractive policy to women. But instead of talking about how we can engage women on these policy debates, we're sort of going to quotas, and I think that it's not a winning strategy. I think it's just a way to it'll further democratise the party. The right type of woman will get pre-selected. If you're someone that believes in quotas, therefore identity politics, you're going to have to be a certain type of woman to get pre-selected if you support this sort of move. And I think it'll be detrimental to the party and its brand.
I guess the moral objection I have to quotas is I hate to see anybody divided by attributes as opposed to talent. One day it will be a quota based on gender. Tomorrow it may be indigeneity or not. It could be an age-based quota. We see that's coming into boards in New South Wales. A certain number of seats reserved for those board members under the age of 24. It could be religious-based. We know in some countries you have to be Muslim potentially to have seats in the parliament. So I think this is going to be a very difficult debate for the Liberal Party to have because people are just wanting to, I think, react to the devastating loss rather than look at what is sustainable decisions to turn this around. I think they want a quick fix and they want to be able to move on.
But I don't think that's going to work. I mean, quotas, the Labor Party have had quotas for a significant number of time. They've just won government after 3 terms of a Liberal government. Improving your female representation isn't going to necessarily bring in the quality and the calibre of an MP that's going to win government. In fact, at the last federal election, it was a senior Liberal female MP that brought in the devastating work from home policy. This MP also fearmongered about Chinese volunteers in Kooyong that I think had a significant impact in seats like Menzies, Deakin, Chisholm and, of course, Kooyong. So I think that we need to go back to basics, go back to our core brand policies of economic management, lower taxes, and families will vote Liberal. Women will vote Liberal because that is how you manage the economics of your home and everything else.
Yeah, I'll make the point, but just before we go, the highest sort of level of female share of the vote, so high 40s under Mr Howard, but 45 under Tony Abbott, and neither of them were considered particularly women-friendly. occurred because the policy settings were right. When the party went to Malcolm Turnbull in the 2016 election, that share of the female votes, this is women 18 to 64, fell to a very, very low 35% and fell even further under Scott Morrison. So I think that amplifies your point. It's the policies, stupid, that gets the female vote. Stephanie, thank you. Thanks for your time.